Welcome to Vapefog Reviews, Tutorials, and Gear. Today, we're going to take a look at the Plume Veil RDA. Okay guys, this is the Plume Veil RDA. I've been vaping on this for probably the last 2 days or so. It's a pretty cool device. I like it. I do have a couple little issues with it, but it's not really that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and pull this thing apart and see what it looks like up close here. That comes off. You got one O-ring. Then you can see right here at the very top, you got a couple of air holes. This thing's got a ton of airflow. You have this little Delrin insert right here. If I put the cap back on, or the drip tip back on, see how that's screwing down in there? Did you see that? Okay. What that actually does, we take the cap off here. See that insulator in there? See how it's turning? That will actually push down in there, okay, which will make the vapor probably denser and hotter. I don't know about the density, but it definitely makes it hotter. I know that for sure. But anyway, that's one little unique feature about this device, man. It's different than other ones. Okay, then you see you have airflow all the way around this thing. I mean, it's, there you go. And the same thing is going on the opposite side, inside that logo. Okay, so let's pull the cap off. You got another O-ring in there. Now we're looking down at the build deck, and we can pull that off even further. So then inside we have a couple of O-rings. This is the bottom. Adjustable 510. Well, actually, if you adjust that, this whole entire section right here moves around. So yeah, it's highly unadvised. Don't do it. Okay, and these screws, I don't like these screws. They're way too short on this device. I've already had issues where I built coils, and as I'm pulling an old coil out, these screws will go flying through the air, and then I gotta find them. Fortunately, I've been able to. But, and you get a couple of extras with the RDA, but still, they're extremely short, and it can cause some serious issues. I mean, and you can see exactly how short these things are, man. I mean, it's ready to fall out. Look at that. And trust me, it will. If I had a coil in there and I went to pull on that right then, the screw would go flying. It's already happened to me like 3 different times. So I don't like that. The drip well down in there, down in the base here, it's not too bad. On the deck, I mean, see that? That's pretty deep. That's pretty decent right there. So you get that loaded up with cotton in there, you get a build on it, man, and it lasts for quite a while. So I like that. That's a plus. Really, my only complaint with this device is the screws. That's it. That's really the only problem that I have with it. These screws need to be a little bit longer, and they may be on the authentic version. This is a clone, so, you know, it is what it is. And you get what you pay for, I think, most of the time. So let's go ahead, go back out. We'll build a coil for this. We'll vape it, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this thing. Is it worth the money and all that kind of stuff? So let's build a coil for it. We're going to be using 24 gauge kanthal on a 564 drill bit. Okay. And we're going to be making a sub-ohm coil. Here's the kanthal right here. So let's move this out of the way for a second. And I'm going to be looking for something around the 0.8 area. I'm just doing a single coil. So we get this started. We got one. There's 8. Pull that first one back. Get our pliers here. Straighten these up. Cut off the excess. And give these a twist like that. That should be about good. Let's see what we have. Something about like this right here. So we need to loosen up a couple of these screws so we can get our coil in there. This 24 gauge kanthal, you don't need to torch this or anything. Just go ahead and get it started just like that right there. Push it through. Grab a hold of it, pull it where we want it. About right there would be fine. Tighten down the positive. Tighten down the negative. We don't want to go super tight with these because we're still working with it, okay? So I'm going to pull this up and reach down in here. Cut that off. Same thing on this side. And then any excess that's like that, I like to just give it a little bend. Something about like that right there. Now we can take the drill bit, insert it back into the coil, whichever way is easiest to get it back through, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little bend to straighten it up. Now we're ready to fire this. We need to heat this coil up. And we're going to be using needle nose pliers for this. It's quite simple. And you don't have to worry about crushing the coil up or anything like that. Okay, so we need to heat this up. So I'm going to pulse it by pushing the button on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to reach in here and grab and give it a pretty good squeeze. And that's pretty much it right there. So let's go in close and take a look. You should have something that looks similar to that right there. I could give that one little slight bend. It's not really no issue, but maybe something like that. Fire it again. Okay, that'll be enough. You see that there? That's what you're looking for. So now what I want to do is I want to give these one final little turn There we go, just to make sure everything's good and tight. And they are. And we now have us a single coil. So let's pull this off. We'll pop it on a ohm reader and see what it says here. Should be somewhere around 0.8 in that area. 0.7, 0.8. There we go, right on the money. So if you like 0.8 coils, that's a thing of beauty right there. That's perfect. I don't think it gets any better than that. Okay, so we pop this back on the Panzer. Fantastic mod, by the way. Love this thing. Okay, so we got it back on here. Now we need to wick it up. And this Plume Veil, man, this thing, I don't know, it's been great. I've only been using it for a couple of days. But what I can tell you is that I really like it, man. It's a good product. The original, I'm sure, is much better, but you can't go wrong with the clone. I mean, the clone, it works fine. We just want to feed that right through the coil, right through the center. So that. Give it a little twist over here on this end. Kind of pull that through. Something about like that right there. Then on this side, so I'm going to cut off about that much right there on this side. Then on the opposite side, I'm just going to cut a little tiny bit of this off. So I want to cut just a little bit of that off. You're going to take a little tiny screwdriver, a little flathead or whatever you got, it don't matter. I'm just going to tuck this down in around the lip of the deck. Just where it'll get some of that E-juice and soak it up on this side. So let me get that down in there. And now this side, we're just going to fold it under. Okay. And then just work it underneath my coil. And over here on this side, and then I like to fold this part down a little bit. Just where this thing will soak up as much E-juice as possible. So we got something like that right there. I can bring this down and in towards the bottom of the coil a little bit better here. There we go. That'll work. Now we need to soak this with some e-liquid. So we're just gonna come in here and soak this up the best we can here. Want that cotton to be nice and saturated. Now let's give it a fire. Alright, so there we go. We got our coil built and all that. Let's pop the cap on. Go with the vape. So that airflow hole. We want to go ahead and put that right over top of the coil. Like that. Put a couple more drops of e-liquid here. Then we pop our top cap on. And now all I'm going to do is adjust my airflow the way that I want it. I don't know if you can see that. I highly doubt it. It's really dark right here. And this thing is black and all that. But you can adjust the airflow pretty much any way you want. So there you have it, guys. That's the Plume Veil RDA by Aether Tech. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can pick one of these up. Do I like the device? Yep, I like it. I think it's awesome little RDA. I'm pretty sure I only paid like 20 bucks for it or 18 bucks, something like that. So Wasn't very expensive. It is a clone. For a clone, I think it works pretty great. And I'm quite happy with it so far. Please remember to hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Share my videos with everybody and leave a comment if you like this video or you don't like this video. Let me know either way. And thanks for watching. Till next time, take care and happy vaping.